Hey, what are y'all thankful for? Is it easy to make and delicious punch recipes that will impress your friends and family on both Thanksgiving and Christmas? Or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, and New Year's? Hey, me too. What about Boxing Day, Diwali, Saturnalia? My mother doesn't like to spend too much time in the kitchen, but she still likes to plan meals. And after numerous emails from her about yams and gravy and the latest innovations in stuffing, she sent me a punch recipe from Southern Living. I'm usually indifferent to cocktail recipes and lifestyle magazines, but this one seems simple and yet also delicious. Here's the original recipe, and the only thing I changed is the spiced rum. If you're already mulling the cider, why bother with a competing flavor profile? So I'm using, I don't know, whatever rum was laying around. Wow, this is delicious, but it's not from this recipe. I can only find cider in these big jugs, and I didn't want to have this open and a jug of cranberry. That's just too much juice to get through, with or without the punch. So I retooled the punch for this single serving cranberry juice and ginger beer. So the original recipe calls for mulling only a portion of the cider and then diluting it with the rest. It would be too hard to mull like 2 tablespoons, so we're going to keep that part the same. We'll just use less spice and honey. I'm using a single cinnamon stick, 6 cloves, and I'm going to add a cardamom pod. I wanted to add star anise too, but I've made a lot of absinthe drinks recently, and my family has asked me to tone that down a bit. Once that has been mulled, steeped, and strained, the rest of the punch just gets built. Let's add in the single bottle of cranberry, 8 ounces of ginger beer, and a cup of rum. I decided on an aged Panamanian, which I think will add a distinct flavor that most people aren't too familiar with. If you're making the big version, add in green apple and lemon slices, or maybe orange too, and garnish each serving with a sprig of rosemary. I'm just adding all 3 right into my glass. The rosemary adds a nice aromatic that plays well with the other flavors. So what's the real difference between apple cider and apple juice? Well, if it's clear and yellow, you got juice there, fella. And if
it's tangy and brown, you're in cider town.
Thanks for the assist, Ned. Cider is just unfiltered apple juice. And that's it, really. Which got me thinking, does that make this pineapple cider and this, which I ran through a coffee filter, true pineapple juice? Okay, we are gonna remake this punch with mulled pineapple cider. Everything else will be exactly the same, but it's not that we're just replacing one cider with another. The pineapple ends up a little too acidic, especially with the cranberry juice. So we're gonna take a can of juice and we're gonna cut it with apple cider. The process will be slightly different because we don't want to heat pineapple juice for too long. So let's bring about 1.5 cups of apple cider, the cinnamon and the clove to a boil, and then reduce heat and simmer for about 5 minutes. Then we add the pineapple cider, honey, nutmeg, and lemon zest, and let it simmer another 5 minutes. Strain, cool, and build. Wow, that's absolutely phenomenal. What a great way to kick off the holiday season. I've got some cool cocktails coming up, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.